Right. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 3 of my YouTube channel. For those that don't know, I am currently living in Seoul, South Korea, and I am teaching English at a public school, and I teach elementary school English. I promised last video that I would use episode 3 to talk about how coronavirus has affected teaching at a public school in South Korea, in Seoul. Yeah, cool. So things kind of started right before the end of the school year, sometime in December maybe. We came back to school for maybe a week and we said bye to the kids, I think. And then we went on just a three week just not coming to school at all. No teachers, no faculty, no students, nobody that I know of. And then I think a week or two after that, teachers were asked to come back to school. And I think our days were staggered. It was like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We did that for maybe like a month and a half. And at that same time, we started doing online classes. From what I know, homeroom teachers were doing Zoom classes with the kids. As the English teacher, I was not asked to do that. They talked about having me do Zoom, but instead they decided that it would be better for me and better for the teachers if I just created online activities, storybooks with recordings of my voice, and useful vocabulary or phrases. And they asked me to prepare homework. And then I think randomly, maybe the start of the second month, they asked me to start calling students. So part of my job, because of the virus keeping students at home, I was asked to call students at home and practice each lesson with them over the phone for maybe 5 minutes each, or sometimes less than 5 minutes, depending on how well the student grasped the material. So I would have little check marks for the students to hit. For example, like, what can you say? This is my mother. This is my father. This is my friend. And then we'd have the students say those things, and then they had to know how to say whatever basic phrase was in that lesson. Does that make sense? Since then, the virus has been going on over the past, what is it, like 6 months now? I don't even know. Has it been? It's almost been like a whole year. Anyways, yeah, so Korea was good as far as like handling it. Eventually the students did come back, and we finished up last semester by having me teach, instead of my normal teaching schedule, I was asked to do 10 classes for each grade. So originally I had 5 classes for 4th grade, 5 classes for 5th grade, and 5 classes for 6th grade. They ended up splitting those classes in half. So then I was doing 10 classes for 4th grade, 10 for 5th, 10 for 6th, and they had me help out with 3rd grade, which I was happy to help because from what I understand, the homeroom teachers and stuff were doing crazy schedules and everything as well. And to be honest, initially before I was phone calling students, I did feel a little bit useless at my desk just preparing homework assignments or just preparing study material for the students. So I was pretty stoked for when the students came back and they actually said like, hey Nick, we need you to do 10 classes instead of 5. It was like I went from doing much less work to doing way more work than I was originally asked to do. But yeah, I think we're all kind of rolling with the punches. Korea's numbers started to go down, and then we had a big outbreak, I think, just recently in the past like 2 months, and it happened in Itaewon. I think it happened in Itaewon. It happened in Seoul, regardless. And so it was a lot harder to control than it was to handle the first outbreak in Daegu, I think. It was harder to contact trace, and it was harder to I think the people that got infected in Seoul this time around, I think they were a little bit more mistrusting of the government or something. So from what I heard, a lot of people weren't wanting to get tested or weren't wanting to, I guess, cooperate. I don't know. So hopefully Korea and Seoul specifically will kind of get back to where we were with our numbers going down and with students coming back to school, so I can have kind of a normal schedule, and the students and other teachers can have a normal schedule. Yeah. As far as in the classroom, like big changes, we have like plastic dividers over each of the desks, so the students have like sort of like a cough or a sneeze shield. Everyone is required to wear a mask, and then students are also staggered in a way to where half the class shows up, and they're all spaced apart pretty well. And then I have to wear a mask the whole time that I teach, which can be kind of annoying, but it's whatever. Like I can do it. we can't really do group activities. Before COVID really hit us, we were doing like teams or groups of 4, or I might, if I made like a board game using English phrases, I could have the students work together in a group, and then me and my co-teacher could just sort of patrol and check on students' progress and how well they're practicing together. But now I don't really do as many of those activities. I usually do an activity where everyone works together as a class, or we might just do 2 big teams by cutting the class in half, which means it's like teams of like 5, and the students don't really face each other. They just stay at their desk. And the biggest thing is that instead of classes being 40 minutes, classes are now 30 minutes. So they are 10 minutes less, but like I said, each day I have 5 classes. Yeah. Each day I have 5 classes. Each week I would have 10 classes of that grade because classes are cut in half. I feel like I'm repeating myself. Yeah. Everything else aside, I think my school specifically, I can't, like, again, I can't speak for other schools or Hagwons, because I think Hagwons are probably a bit different. I've had friends tell me that they were doing in-person classes way before I was. And finally, last thing the students are dealing with, as well as us teachers, is lunch. So we have plastic dividers at lunch, and we have to be staggered as well to have some sort of social distancing. I can't imagine what it's like teaching back in the States right now. It's probably like a little bit more stressful, just because I think everyone is still kind of trying to figure out what the proper course of action should be. I guess that concludes episode 3. I don't know. I don't really know what I should talk about in any of these or the next one, or even if what this is. Is it like a video journal? It's like a video diary. So if you have any questions about teaching abroad or teaching Korean specifically, or teaching in Seoul, or just living in Seoul, or I don't know, having a giant fluffy stuffed cat. This is Mooney. I sleep with him every night. I don't know why his name is Mooney, but we share a room together. He's my roommate. Yeah, so any questions, I don't know, comment or message, or I don't know. So everyone that is watching, my brother or my girlfriend or like anyone that stumbles upon this video, I hope you're doing great. I love you. I miss you. You make me happy. This is it. Oh my God. Is that a ghost? In the corner? Do you see what I see? It's a ghost. I need to shave right here. How did I miss that?